Steve Simone, the man himself.
How
What
you
up?
doing, Steve?
What up, Florida man? Florida Steve.
Oh my God.
Florida man.
What's up, guys?
He's in
know.
Florida
Look at
today.
that.
He's not actually a Florida man. But it's
Nah,
great to have
yeah,
you.
look at me. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks
How-
for having me on. It's an honor to be here.
So describe the
what-
company in exactly 3 words. I've heard it described as gun on truck. Is that accurate?
That's John. That's
AI
John's-
AI robot gun.
Okay, there we
AI
go.
robot gun.
Shooting down drone swarms. If I see a light show with a dragon swarming towards me, I call you. You're going to throw a hail of gunfire at it and take out all of them. Is that the idea?
Well, it's more precision. We're sniping these drones. We're not just
okay.
throwing bullets in the sky. It's precise.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
precision. Well, I always loved talking to Steve. A while back, he was in LA,
Yeah.
and we were I forget, there was something. I think it was like actually the weekend that All In Summit was happening because Steve's raised a couple rounds from Kraft now, one of which he's announcing today, and we just had this awesome meeting where I was like, you got to think bigger. Like, you got to think bigger.
You were
Like,
that guy?
Yeah, I was the
Oh,
guy. I was like
no.
you got to think bigger guy.
No,
and I think
Jordy, you're the ultimate hype man. You
Yeah.
made me think bigger, bro. You made me think bigger.
That's
love
great.
it.
Well, speaking of bigger,
yeah.
let's
talk
announce
about
the big
talk
round.
about the news today.
Oh yes, today we just announced our $30 million Series A, led by Kraft Ventures.
Let's go.
Again, they
Let's
didn't give
go.
out the seed. They're back at the A.
Congratulations.
Maybe they'll do the B. We'll see. We'll keep it going.
Keep it going.
We'll keep it going.
Ride your winners. It's in the all-in intro.
Yeah,
Sachs is
Going
putting
all
it-
in.
Let your winners ride, and Sachs is true to his word.
But I gotta ask you guys, how much does it cost to get my logo on the ticker symbol at the bottom? Like, is that how
You're
much
gonna have to wait
sponsorship
till the
dollars?
B. You're gonna have to wait
Yeah.
till the B, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Is that
I'm sorry.
Series A companies
I
is tough?
Yeah. I can. I know. I
yeah.
have a
But we can
rough
talk
sense-
about it. We can talk
I
about
have a
it.
rough sense of your balance sheet, but you're here. You got your face. You got your face here, and
that's worth
priceless.
1,000.
I mean, how much did Wander pay for that back there? Is that,
we're
is that
not.
a company?
We can't get into
we
specifics.
can't disclose. We're very against building in public.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
and it's not because of like the flex culture or any of that. It's specifically because of our near peer adversaries copying us. If the CCP got a hold of how the business really works, they could clone this show, and then it
make
would just
it
be a
very
total
pro-China.
Cold War arms race for the best and most aggressive daily podcasting
Yeah, I mean, the
tech.
CCP is a big threat. I mean, why we started ACS is because, we're at a manufacturing deficit with China and we need to do something about it. So that's why we, are making these gun turrets to be able to shoot down their drones.
Talk about just talk about the process. We were talking with Delian earlier. There's this phenomena within startups broadly where there's a culture of having a big vision and fully believing it yourself and assembling people and talent, and then sometimes you have this vision and then it ends up being exceptionally difficult to actually execute. You're working in this case with so for those that don't know, Steve sold his last company to DoorDash, had a great exit, and then basically brought together, did it round 2 with his co-founder, and so you had that like intense trust with your co-founder. You also were in the military yourself, so maybe give like kind of the full background on you guys together all the way back to the Navy days.
So the company's called Allen Control System, named after Luke Allen, our CTO, and we have a proprietary control system. That's why thus the name, just right on the nose. But
and also
we met
the
in
name.
the Navy.
The name too is very cool. Steve was like, everybody's calling their stuff like Lord of the Rings. Like, what's the most boomer tagline that's gonna basically like sound like it's been around for decades already? And I think it's working. I really like the counter positioning.
Yeah, you got a counter position. That's all marketing, baby. No, so we met in the Navy. We were nuclear engineers in the U.S. Navy. Met like 16 years ago, and then we moved out to San Francisco, as one does, tries to start startups. I had a couple that failed, and then the one we sold to DoorDash. And now this is technically my 4th startup. It's a way of life, it's a journey. I've been doing this for about 10 years now. So
very cool.
Yeah.
And then coming together, like give the company's 2 years old now. It's
2.5. Yeah. Well, look, it takes to build a complex precision robotics product. It takes about 3 years, like from whiteboard to like really good product. So like we're almost there on that journey. But when we started it, right when we sold the company to DoorDash, Putin actually invaded Ukraine the same week when the deal closed. And we were reading articles about Ukrainians shooting guns in the air at drones. And, Luke called me up and was like, this is a really good robotics problem. We should start looking at this. And when we kind of surveyed the landscape of the industry of like, interceptors and electronic warfare and microwave technology and lasers and all these other counter drone measures, but didn't see a lot of like really precision applications around using guns and ammo, which, guns and ammo are widely available in the military. So we thought this is a really good idea. Went after it.
How's it been? You guys spend a lot of time on the range, like actually shooting down drones. Talk about kind of how this maybe company's been different to the last one, which was, in a totally different, vertical, and you were probably comfortably in San Francisco. Now you guys, spend a lot of time just out in the field,
getting the boots dirty.
Yeah, getting the boots dirty.
Wait, say that again. I missed the question.
Just how's the culture different now that you're out on the range, actually,
how's
out of an office? You're not in a cubicle all day.
I'll tell you, for me, it's like I feel most at home in the startup life. As the companies get bigger and scale, it changes things. But in the early days, it's the most fun. Actually, Luke and I always joke, like when you first start a company, the first couple months are the most fun when you have no customers. Because then once you start getting customers and you have responsibilities, you have to deliver their requirements, have great customer service and all of that. So in the very early days, you have to cherish those moments. But then as it's a life cycle. So as you scale up, things get different, you become different, and the whole company changes. But right now it's still at a fun size, around 34 people, still enjoying getting out of like the main corporate office and doing our thing.
I mean, Delian said this on the show before, like, the Anduril of Anduril that is Anduril, and maybe Anduril's the power law winner and going to do all this stuff. How you've obviously counterpositioned with the name. You didn't pick another name from Lord of the Rings, thank God. But how are you thinking about how the product fits into the defense tech ecosystem? Palantir has their AIP program. They're openly planning to work with other companies and develop partnerships. Is there a world where this plugs into Lattice and you let Anduril take the kind of the AI connective tissue and you're a partner? Yeah. Or are you really just trying to grow and add so many or more products? Where does long term go from here?
Our product, so autonomous guns are, when they hit the battlefield, they're going to change a lot of the battlefield economics. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these like more expensive interceptor products, or some of the big laser beams, or missiles and stuff, like autonomous guns are going to put a lot of downward pressure on products like that, I think. So I think we're pretty well positioned from a product strategy perspective. But where we actually mostly focus our time is, you see all these autonomous vehicle companies, USVs. You got like companies like Saronic, bunch of USV makers, these unmanned surface vehicles, and then you got like the land ones like Overland or Forterra. There's a number of these. And so all of these autonomous vehicles need an autonomous payload.
Sure.
And so we're positioning ourselves, we're mostly focused on great partnerships with companies like these, positioning our product there, and then, kind of bundling. That you make money via bundling in the game.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Talk about competing. A lot of your competitors are these sort of old, slow moving, I'm thinking about like the Rheinmetalls of the world, right? It's probably fun being a team of 34, competing against some of these giants.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go for
interrupted
it.
you.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say it's the lag on the Zoom, but I was gonna say like Rheinmetall, Kongsberg. A lot of, I don't know if a lot of the listeners know this, but in the gun turret market, so these are called remote weapon stations. In the RWS market, a lot of the providers are foreign. So the U.S. buys a lot of their stuff, most of it from companies that aren't based in the U.S. So from this standpoint, we're kind of bringing this back home. It's a new American startup building, new modern age remote weapon stations. And so I think we're pretty well positioned there from like a congressional standpoint too, because like a lot of people in Congress didn't even really realize that these like slower dinosaurs are actually not even U.S. companies that are doing this for us.
What's the vibe on the ground in the DC area right now? You obviously have an office out there. What's is it chaos or people running around?
I mean, just to set the table, we've been talking about the continuing resolution. There's a lot of questions about if DoD budgets aren't increasing, will there be net new projects, new programs of record? Obviously, chaos can be a ladder and an opportunity for new companies, and it can also be a consolidation force for the ones who already have programs. What's your take?
I think well, if you look at what like Doge is doing and stuff, I think it's sending shockwaves to the DoD, and I do think that they're trying to cut things that they don't want anymore. And then they have a carve out list, and Secretary Hegseth has this like list of like 14 technology fields that he's not wanting to make cuts to. Luckily, counter small drone is one of those, so we're not impacted really by that. Now, obviously, for the FY25 bill, we were somewhat impacted because they didn't do a bill, and so that's like I think Delian was on, you were saying, talking about that, so I don't need to rehash it. But basically, that does put some pressure on some startups. For us, it wasn't too big of an issue because most of our stuff is in 26 and beyond. But I could see if you were really banking on that could be tough.
What are you hiring for right now? What kind of people are you looking to recruit into the team? You got 30 million of fresh capital. I imagine a lot of that will be going to bright technologists.
Engineers, if you're a computer vision engineer and this is like one of the most fun computer vision problems to work on, I would say of the different parts of our product, you got like the vision system to detect stuff, you have the fire control to track and shoot, and you have all the hardware and the mechanical stuff. The vision part is one of the most challenging parts. And so we're looking for, people coming out of universities that really love this problem. They want to see it, they want to try to find small drones moving against cluttered backgrounds. And so, we're always looking for that kind of talent. But, across the whole engineering spectrum, we're looking for everyone. But I would say this is a dream job for a computer vision engineer.
Makes sense.
Amazing.
I on computer vision, is the job getting easier with new models? I mean, we just saw an amazing demo yesterday from OpenAI. It seems like computers are generally getting better at doing stuff with images. I would hope that benefits not just memes and anime, but also self-driving cars and also what you do. Is there a bridge from that tech and what's going on there in terms of scaling and improving the underlying models to what you do? Or are you just kind of like, hey, we got OpenCV and it's enough?
I mean, we're a little bit on the cutting edge of, we're trying to see a very small drone like a DJI Mavic on a cluttered background moving very quickly. It's not the same exact application as like some of the stuff they're doing in self-driving. Like we're trying to put a bullet through this drone too, to be honest. And so like that's another kind of a novel use case. And so we need a little bit more out of the computer vision than industry is really providing. So we're on kind of the bleeding edge of some of the research around this. Obviously, I would love to just ride the wave and be able to use what's already built and what these guys are all doing, but it doesn't quite, exactly work for what we're doing. So, yeah, there's a little bit of like researchy stuff there that we're working on.
Yeah, when you think about the opportunity to go work in computer vision at ACS, where you're like, getting the, like I've seen a lot of the videos, and you guys have some of these videos like public on your YouTube channel and stuff like that. But getting to work on something where you're actually taking a gun and like taking a drone out of the sky. The alternative is like you could go work at some high profile humanoid robotic companies that are just like looking at the laundry or whatever. And like,
you got to give the robots guns. You got to give the robots guns. This is what makes it fun. This is Call of Duty.
And all our only request is get some Unitree robots at some point and just put some bullets in them.
Yeah.
I know. I want to have them running over the hilltop like an army of Unitree robots, and then Bullfrog sniping them all, headshotting them all.
Oh my God.
No, I want to see. Here's the other challenge: 360 no scopes.
360 no scopes on the turret. I want to see that. That would be viral for sure.
Wait, the sweep. Will you guys do like sweep sniping? You know that from Halo 2? Do that?
Yeah.
Sweep snipe. Yeah.
You can do that.
I think JD Vance did that a lot. I think he played a lot of Halo.
Okay, awesome.
Crazy lore.
Well, thanks for stopping by. This is
congratulations.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
I'm gonna play a quick song for you on the way out.
I'm going all in. Yeah, you got that on here. Awesome.
There you go. Congratulations to
Later,
you,
guys.
the team,
Appreciate
and Sax. Great one.
Yeah, congrats to Sax.